Um, Hello. Now, I'm going to talk to you right now, and it may not be as short as desired, as short as keeping your attention alive. A thing that I envision that is called hermeneutics, but is an established discipline in literary circles. Um, we are able to automatize um, hermeneutics itself. We are able to bring a computerized component to the discipline, the serious discipline of hermeneutics. Now, let me just open a bracket here. Now, when an examiner asks somebody like Coney Barrett in the United States, they asked that person if supposedly the president could pardon themselves. Now, there exists two possibilities. So we have to branch, right? There exists a branch here. Who is the president in question? Is it Donald Trump? Who does the uh, particular identifier the president, who does that refer to? So we can see there's a tree already branching. Now, of course, we can talk about tableau trees and how or semantical trees as they are called. So a given scenario is compatible, speaking in model theoretically compatible with the facts at hand, if simply the tree that we are developing has not been closed. That is, we have not found a contradiction. Now, there exists. Okay, so according to these two branches from the same node, namely the president of the United States, there exist two highly radically different interpretations. The first interpretation is, are you capable to play Donald Trump? Are you able to play Donald Trump as you should be able to play him? This is the first. This is the first interpretation when thinking about Donald Trump as president, and the second possible interpretation is, do you show fidelity towards the real president, whoever the real president may be? Are you entirely and 100% showing a sense of fidelity towards our cause, right? Now, okay, enough about Coney Barrett. There's a gentleman in South Australia named Corey Bernardi. He's a Mr. Bernardi is currently a news presenter or a news commentator for Sky News, and ABC has stated that Mr. Bernardi has engaged in some activity that was supposedly unethical. Now, the way to interpret this type of accusation is by simply by viewing it as a broadcast. So it is a broadcast by the ABC. ABC did broadcast the fact that Mr. Bernardi is an enemy. ABC did broadcast the fact that Mr. Bernardi is an enemy to the other team. And they've broadcasted this shamelessly and without fearing any negative consequences whatsoever. Okay. So, I mean, I've spoken about this type of stuff before. For example, the system in question, the system that is placed on a, say, judiciary level, it's a few maps here, a few correspondences. Basically, the first one of the correspondence that we are able to draw is between pedophilia and education of the young. Basically, it is the case that people that have influenced the younger generation, people that have brought a significant contribution to the education of younger generations are in fact brought to justice for pedophilia when it is clear that the act itself did not happen. Now, suppose I'm walking around my neighborhood and I'm being accused of making sexist remarks. Now, what does that mean? What does it mean for somebody to make sexist remarks when in fact they have not? So I'm just saying, suppose it is a scenario. What does it mean for someone to assault police when in fact they have not? Okay, so sexist remarks, you are obviously a threat towards women. It is not a huge threat such as maybe sexual assault, but you are getting smart, you are getting cute, you are a threat to women. That's what a sexist remark means. Now, assaulting police and assaulting law and order means you are a threat to the other team, you are a threat to the establishment itself. So that's very, very simple hermeneutic, and maybe we can find a means of computerizing this stuff. Maybe it is possible to find means of using computers for decryption procedure, for decrypting this type of dialogue, this type of discourse, if you want. And I've already spoken to you about the possible usage of a tableau, the possible usage of a semantical tree, which the tree closes when we have found a contradiction, but we must be able to define contradiction in a suitable way, and that's about it. Okay, in a tree we must have a rule for branching. So basically, okay, think about the rule for branching in question. Happen when we find one of the rules for branching would be to branch when we find an ambiguous statement, a statement that is extremely ambiguous or has connotations, or it can be identified that there exists sexual, if you want, sexual or mischievous, in any case, connotations to the statement, and that is when the tree branches. But do think about other rules for branching the semantical tree in question. A lot of work is required on this one. However, we need to parse texts, and we need to parse uh, we do need to parse um, newspaper articles, if you want, in a fashion that sort of brings the mischief in question his attention, and we are able to basically identify and find leads to other articles and other means of communication. Now that is the strategy. So we find a particular piece of news, or a particular piece of communication, a particular piece of broadcast, and then identify its references, sort of like a search engine crawler, if you want. You find other and other such references until we have basically identified all of them. And once we have identified a suitable, as it is called, training set, a suitable set of such communication, such broadcasts, once we have identified a suitable such set, it is advisable to isolate the statements in question, the statements, the allegations, the mode of communications. Isolate them. For example, when I say sexist remarks, for example, when I say stalking, okay, stalking, an unidentified man has been stalking women somewhere. Now, stalking is a very, very weird type of allegation. It is not in the criminal justice code. So we can already see maybe a hint for a methodology. Stalking is extremely vague. Now we have identified such a statement. Somebody has been stalking someone somewhere. Identify the complete list of such. Identify the complete list of such communications, and basically we have a training set. And we need for a good training set, we will need hundreds or thousands of such phrases, such expressions. By this methodology, we have, in fact, compressed, or we shall then be able to run any particular article that communicates in this mischievous fashion. We will run it through our neural network, and a light will flash saying that, okay, this article is safe, the writer of the article has only good intentions, or the article is mischievous. We can extend this, we are able to extend this neural network abstraction type of methodology to visual imagery. Basically, whenever I see someone behaving in a certain way, we abstract behavior. One type of strategy in going about to solve this problem is basically having a module in your software that transliterates everything, transliterates every gesture, every single word, every gesture, any facial expression. We transliterate it into text using something like a perfect language, as Wittgenstein would call it. Yes, a perfect language, unambiguous language with. So we transliterate expressions, modes of communications, words. We put everything into text, and then perform the procedure that I have basically referenced before. We look for patterns in the text. We look for We examine the text in question, and we um, search for recurring patterns of communication, which can be verbal communication, it can be gesture communication, it can be, and so on and so forth. We look for recurring patterns in this type of mischievous communication using a neural network type of strategy. I hope it wasn't too long, and I hope I was entirely clear in what I have said. And yes, thank you very, very much for your attention on this.